Hey people, injured here to V2, Median Cliff Mines blue team. Suffocating Python is a warp spider Exarch, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat by default with a capping and harassing, there he goes, with a bunch of control abilities alongside Ruthless at heart is a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that leaps into combat, some powerful disruption and supports, up against two lumbering Hive Tyrants. First up is this fella who I can't say the name of. I think this name has something to do with gnomes. And this guy's also known as Bloodbrain. I'm going to just call him Gnome, because that's fun. And alongside, it's not the regular slashers guy, this is Cry. Hive Tyrants are durable heroes that walk through objects and cannot be suppressed. The Warlock is annoying this Hive Tyrant. Starting off in melee combat with a basic synapse, they have strong support, disruption and offense. I'm going to call them Pedro and Jorge. They're both lumbering around the center at the moment. It's double termagants into spawn mines for both players. Banshees on the field for both the Eldar players too. South, what is this? Oh, Banshees versus Hormagaunts with some Guardians sprinkled in. Natural VP for the blue team in the south, natural for the red team in the north, and of course a central contested VP. Classic map, Median Cliff Mines, or Median Cliff Mines, however you want to say it. I think Median. I'm going to go for now. Spawn mines be floating in. Banshees trying to take them out quickly, but they take a big old spawn mine explosion in the face. And the Tyranids, I think, are going to take the mid. There's contested power here they can take too. Meanwhile, though, Banshees and Guardians on the power. So those are the spawn mines gone for Gnome. Power goes up. Here comes that Hive Tyrant. Can they get a model off the Banshees? Not quite, I don't think. Guardians also need to flee. There we go. Full power up here for the Eldar, but this one's being bashed by some Hormagaunts. Both the Tyranid players with the same colour scheme. Yet that's going to be nice and confusing for me. I don't need help being confused, fellas. Warp Spider gets the decap on that northern VP. Can use the teleport to really transition between the centre and the flanks really well. Hormagaunts messed up those Guardians, but here comes a Warlock. Did they use the Destructor? They must have. Gen's going up. Warp Spider also being annoying like the Warlock was. Trying to keep the cap alive and moving around the VP, but eventually has to give up. But got a decap. Cry is amused. Warp Spider teleports back to grab the wreck point now. Or not. A bit of miscommunication with the Warlock there. But now it's Banshees on the Hive Tyrant, and they do threaten this big guy without any war gear. Especially at low levels. They're going to take him down, I think. Oh no, special attack. Gets the special right when he needed it. But that still goes down. Poor Pedro. Or was that Jorge? Well, now it's Pedro, and this is Jorge. In the south. Bashing the powers. Shuriken gets the suppression. No, they get away. That was pretty unlucky there for Ruthless, but I guess they still got the Hive Tyrant. But these guys almost wiped on that special attack there. Very nearly. Ravener Brood for both of the Tyranid players now. Of course, they look bloody identical. No power here. Couple of gens here. Still harassing the power. We do have a Bioplasm up on Jorge, the Hive Tyrant. Hormagaunts go for the flank. Banshees try to stop them. Did not use their War Shower. I don't think they had it. I think they just got their aspect. Double Shurikens trying to escape the wrath of the Ravener Brood now. This one can set up and help them out. They can't borrow strike again until they get a bunch of energy back. They're going to take a lot of damage at that range. Banshees with the flank, and these guys don't have their crippling poison. They should go to the Raveners, I think, and try and get a model off them. I think they could have got a model off those guys if they went for them. Meanwhile, Pedro's still down in the north. Banshee's jumping over stuff with the aspect of fleetness. Warlock was just holding things up and annoying it, and did a good job. Keeps that VP blue. Meanwhile, Warp Spider's in the mid capping stuff up. Showing off with his teleporting. And the Banshees are bashing power in the south. More Raveners. Double Raveners for both of the Tyranid players here. Already, Cry has theirs on the field. They're going to head north, I guess. Who's yelling now? It's you guys. Got some special attacks on those Raveners, but Hormagaunts getting in there and more Raveners joining. good time to retreat, I think. Are you going to try and revive here? There's the Bioplasma. Gets a good hit. No attempt to revive yet from Gnome. Burrow Strike. Doesn't hit both the Shurikens. The War Shout is there to counter-initiate. And they are going to be able to set up the other Shuriken. This one stays in play too. Didn't take any damage, or barely any damage. Banshee's doing a good job defensively, but can they get away? Ravener's in retreat path. I don't think they're going to get away. Or maybe the Shuriken suppression, I think, saved them. I think it saved them. You saw their Gnome. He tried to stop the Raveners or make them shoot, but they were suppressed. They couldn't get the shot away. Must have already shot their weapons and they were still on cooldown. Hive Tyrant takes out one of the Guardians guarding that thing. And we got the Immolator Blade up for Ruthless, although had to run away. Start a fight and run away. Don't try that at home, kids. What is this? Just some Hormagaunts. Tyranids taking control of the mid. Burrow Strike on the Shuriken should get it out of there. But Banshees are in play. Going for the low health Raveners, which have Burrow Strikes, and they get the knockback. But they are really low. There's the War Shout. Can they get a model? They can get a model. They're still staying in play here way too long. Stayed in play way too long, and down they go. Ruthless with a bit of a slip in concentration there. Should have retreated as soon as they took out that Ravener model. Are they waiting for something else to join the fight? I don't think so. It's a strange one. But it happens. Might have been playing all night. This might have been 6 hours into the session or something. Double Raveners have put a lot of pressure on the Eldar. I see the map is very red now. Brood nest up here from Cry. Gonna get grenaded. The Raveners almost wiping. Can the Warlock finish him with the flames? With the fire? 6 hit points, 5 hit points, 2. And they do go down. I think the Ravener had some lingering DPS from the actual melee hit. And then took a little bit from the immolation on the ground. And that was enough. This is a destroyed Guardian weapon team though, I think. Yep. Hive Tyrant just turns around and smacks it. And more smacking over here. Jorge doing well in the south. And oh, Pedro's back to his feet. Triple cap for the Tyranids. Doing well so far, and these guys are decapping the power. Warp Spiders on the way for Ruthless. Pedro has no war gear. Jorge has the Bioplasma. I bet I've mixed their names up about 4 times already by now. They look exactly the same. That's a good Bioplasma again. Doing some good work with that. And the sheer amount of ranged DPS takes down the Warp Spider. Grenade goes in. Brood Nest is still up. They can't repair it, but it will very slowly regenerate health. There's some bloody hiccups now. Triple cap for the Tyranids still. Can the Eldar break out? Gonna finish this cap here. Is Pedro. Grenades. Can't quite wipe the Brood Nest, but I do get it with some shots. What is this? Oh, group teleport. Shenanigans going on here. That was alright. Can they kill some Raveners? The Banshees didn't even try. Going straight for the node. Oh, it was noded. Gonna need to chop it down a bit. Stuff breaking. Why did that break? There wasn't a Hive Tyrant going through it. Shoddy craftsmanship from the Imperium. Tier 2 for those Tyranid players now. Hormagaunts with adrenal glands going for the decap on that wreck point. That's going to be annoying for the Eldar team. 211 to 453. There's the 2-1 for the Eldar. Look how quickly they can get back on his points. Warlock is level 2. Warp Spider is still level 1. Warp Spiders forcing off the Hormagaunts, but they've got the decap. Meanwhile, North, red team get their natural VP back thanks to those Hormagaunts. Not quite got their power back yet though. And this one is red with a Brood Nest on it. Big firefight in the mid with some literal fire from the Warlock. Don't think it killed a model, maybe it did. Banshees be yelling. Where are they yelling? Here they are yelling. You get on the power too. Nothing here to stop them. Think they're going to get a full bash there. Is that double bioplasma? No. Pedro still has no war gear. Going after some Guardians though. Lost the indicator for them. The gen is going to go down, but can they bash the node? They don't have their Exarch queued up. Here's a Ripper Swarm out of the Capillary Tower, I suppose. Still swarming the south though is Gnome. Could build some gens. More Capillary Tower. This really helps their mobility kind of flowing through the map. Webway though, also pretty damn good for mobility, eh? Warlock's going to go for the VP as these guys bash the node, I suppose. Looks like they're concentrating mid and south, the Tyranids. For the moment anyway. They might get a big old flank from these guys. Although it's not that big, it's only Ravenous and Hormagaunts at the moment. I think they can get onto that Guardian Weapon team though. Oh, it's not Hormagaunts, it's just Rippers. Got the VP, got the node, 209 to 428, what is this? Eldar going for a power bash of their own there. This is still locked down, although the Broodnest is down at least. Autarch jumping over stuff, this is Ruthless's Autarch. Walk Spiders of both players, and they're bashing quite well here. Here comes a Tyrant Guard for Gnome. Called in by Jorge here. Got the improved Synapse. Tier 3 though for Cry. And what is their resources looking like? Not too bad. Only plus 33 though on the power. Need some more gens up. Banshees I think are going to be okay. There's a lot of stuff in retreat path, but they're okay. Webway, they know there's a webway here I think, do they? Oh no, they're going for the wreck point. They don't know there's a webway. You need to be so close to it to see it if you're not a detector. 181 to 428 on the VPs. Some damage going in on that Walk Spider now. Trying to cap. Autarch jumps in. She's got her spear. It's a power melee spear. Warlock can't really fight that Tyrant Guard 1v1 with an Immolator Blade. Haywire. But doesn't actually send the Tyrant Guard haywire. Kind of subdues it really. Like a giant glowing sleeping pill. Warp Spiders can't really stand against that range DPS. Meanwhile in the north, Hormagaunts in amongst the Shuriken. But the Hormagaunts are getting wrecked. Those guys don't have an upgrade, so it's not the end of the world to lose them. I think they're going to be okay though. Can they push here? They got grenades. There they are. Threw them in exactly the same place though. Which is generally not what you want to do with the grenades. Unless you know, unless something's like on retreat or something and you know they can't dodge. Or you've stunned something. Neurothrope up here for Cry. That was the Cataclysm. Now it's draining energy from the Autarch and shut her down there too. Gets a few hits in retaliation. 170 to 407. Meanwhile, in the south, Steel Red. They're starting to get the power back, but you did see, who was this? Python going through and getting some power bashes of their own done. Spawn Mines being annoying. Opens up some space for the Tyrant Guard, charges through. That might get it killed. There's the Haywire, and Fire Dragons are getting shots in because it can't charge away now. Not that it would have been able to effectively do that, being snared by the Haywire. Anyway, down it goes. They got it. And they took out the Ravenous too. Crack shot on the Fire Dragons, giving them 25% more damage and plus 7 range from the Warp Spider's global bar. I think it's 12 seconds or 15 seconds or something. Or maybe it's 20 actually. Don't listen to me. It's one of those numbers, maybe. Cataclysm, knockback and damage. Neurothrope backs away, absorbing life from the Warlock there, which also gives it some more energy. And there's the Paroxysm, and they get the Warlock. Hormagaunt somehow made it out. Another Cataclysm. Neurothrope's doing well so far. Autark couldn't quite get the Hormagaunt. What is he doing? What's she doing? Oh, she's getting spirit leeched. But I think they're going to get this Neurothrope. They do. Took eyes off it for a second, and so did I. Look how quickly he lost his health. Autark doing a fancy spinning special attack there. Here come Hormagaunts and Termagants though, called in without number. They come in upgraded too for Cry here. The Hive Tyrant does get away. That is Pedro, I think, running away there. The mid is turning red. South is finally under control again of the Eldar. Can they get onto the power? They're touching the power. They did get the Hive Tyrant down. Hormagaunts taking the flank. Might just be going for the wreck point, but they could get a nasty flank on those Guardians maybe. Still harassment on this power though. Down to 128 VPs the Eldar. Big VP lead for the Tyranids. And tier 3 for Gnome. Another Neurothrope for Cry. Autark levels to 2. She's done well. Here comes a Wraith Lord for Ruthless at heart. Might get a revive soon. Still twitching on the power there. Warp Spider goes for the central VPs. Got the Power Blades. A heavy melee weapon on a naturally teleporting hero. You heard that right. Pretty awesome upgrade for that guy. Hormagaunts did indeed get the wreck point. Power is being harassed again. Fire Dragons will help with that. They should get a full bash here. I don't think there's anything to threaten them really. The Ravener Brood could try to burrow strike, but it's not worth the pain they take. Ruthless is asking for the revive. This guy's busy capping at the moment. Looks like he's going for it now. 121 to 391. Eldar trying to keep a presence in the north. Shurikens here too. And Cry is going south to defend the power maybe? Or might just go mid after this. These guys are free to take the north. The Wraith Lord is up here too. Who can split their army the best? Are you going to revive over here? What's going on? There we go. They're managing to get it done, I think. A very laborious revive, but they do get it done. Level 3 Warp Spider, level 4 Warlock. The Hive Tyrants are level 4 and level 3. Gets the revive. Does Cry. Both of these guys on the warpath now. No war gear though. For Pedro. Big old retreat for Python's stuff, but the Warp Spider's still here. That was a Cataclysm, that was going to knock him off the cap, so he just teleported out, and they got the Northern VP. Although, what is this? Is that the Hormagaunts? It is. These guys trying to line up a grenade. They should have done it then, when they were suppressed, I think. They were waiting for them to actually retreat. They might have to chuck it at their feet. There we go. It's a good one. Almost whacked them. 1 hit point on these fellas. That is pretty unlucky for Python there. Wraith Lord got a shoulder-mounted weapon yet? Nope. Can get a shoulder-mounted Bright Lance or a shoulder-mounted Shuriken and keep all of his melee effectiveness. 121 to 316. Eldar starting to get a foothold here. We haven't seen the Carnifexes come running out. We've got another Neurothrope on the way for Gnome. But I guess their power has been harassed like crazy. And Carnifexes are, what is it, 150 power, 160 power these days. Burrow Strike on the Shuriken. Should get rid of the Shuriken. Meanwhile in the mid though, big old fight. Can they put pressure on the Wraith Lord? Is there anything here that can put pressure on it? Not really. Unless the Hive Tyrants start getting their anti-vehicle weapons. Oh, Crushing Claw. Crushing Claws, rather, for the Hive Tyrant here. So used to calling it Crushing Claw that once they actually changed it to a better name, I'll still say Crushing Claw. Trying to just fight the Wraith Lord here, which might not be a great plan. Gonna go down in retreat, I think, there. Pedro maybe makes it out. 24 hit points. I think he's gonna make it away. Another Cataclysm. Here comes Jorge with improved Synapse and that Bioplasma. Might bypass all those guys. I guess they can teleport away from me, can't they? There's a paroxysm. It does psychic PvP damage, so it won't really harm a vehicle. Despite it doing percentage-based damage, you still have to take into account the damage type. Down to 90 VPs, the Eldar. Tyranids are swarming the mid now. More warp spiders coming out. Brood nest to reinforce all this stuff as well. From Cry. Eldar taking both the natural VPs though. They can't be static in the mid, the Tyranids. They'll be outmaneuvered quite easily by the Eldar. Got double adrenal gland hormagaunts here for Cry. One of them from the without number, I believe. Level 3, this fellow with the crushing claws. And another brood nest here from Gnome. Are they trying to harass the south? They were trying to, but they met fire and lasers and all sorts of stuff. I think they're going for power. There's nothing to bash there, fellas. They don't know that necessarily though. In the north, these Raveners are really low. Why are you staying here? Yeah, get out of there, fellas. Destructor couldn't quite get them down. Warlock's done a good job tearing through the Hormagaunts though, with the Immolator Blade. Level 4 still. Wraithlord's got a decent chunk of XP. Hasn't quite popped to level 2. Wonder if the Hive Tyrant's going to go after it again. I don't think he can win that 1v1. Maybe if he's got his shield up and stuff. Does 108 DPS. The Wraithlord will be doing, I think, 90 odd. I think. But obviously has vehicle armor. Heavy melee only does half damage to vehicle armor, whereas the Hive Tyrant's commander, I think, would take full damage from heavy melee. I assume so. And of course the Wraithlord does splash damage. I think, yep, down goes Pedro. Oh hey, we have a Venom Cannon Hive Tyrant now though. That's a big threat to the Wraithlord. Making it back away. Doesn't have the charge though, so can't go running after it. 87 to 258 on the VPs. Tier 3 for Ruthless. Messed up those Hormagaunts. The Wraithlord, I think, is going to go down. Just needs to create some space and get a shot here at the Hive Tyrant, but can't quite manage it yet. Wraithlord at 11 hit points, getting repairs. But now we see, yeah, Jorge had the space to get the shots in there. Double cap for the Eldar. They are fighting tooth and nail to keep this cap. Bioplasma's a good shot. Those warp spiders got really messed up. Can they teleport away? I think they're going to retreat out. I think they're going to make it. Those Raveners are under pressure from the Banshees. If the Banshees weren't there, I think those warp spiders would have perished. Now they're fighting a Crushing Claws Hive Tyrant. And they both ran away. 2 to 1 for the Eldar. But they might get a triple here. They already have a webway in the north. They don't have one in the south or the mid though. Genestealer Brood on the way for Gnome. And is this like a no Carnifex game or something? I guess their power has been under huge pressure. But Cry has enough to get a Carnifex very soon. Needs a bit more requisition. There we go. 575 150. That's what it is. Triple cap for Eldar though. Is that Carnifex even going to hit the field in time? Ripper's just getting whacked. I assume they give tiny bits of XP, those things. Give you a little bit of red, that's for sure. Pedro's mad. Gets a special attack and there's an Eldritch. On a blob of termagants, they use an Eldritch Storm. Steal the triple cap. Carnifex, I think, is going to hit the field, but how far can it run? Or stomp? Down goes Pedro, by the way. Now twitching. Lots of fire, and the fire's done well. Meanwhile, I can't move the bloody camera. I have to use some edge scrolling here. Level 5 Hive Tyrant for Gnome. Triple cap. Can the Eldar hold on? They are doing really well in these fights. Double warp spiders are done fantastic for Python. Where's Ruthless's Warp Spiders? They are back at base healing up. Continuing to frustrate these Tyranids. Got a tier 3 Lictor for Gnome. Everything runs away because it's scary. Cormagor's in retreat path, but I need to get some VPs, guys. Looks like the Carnifex is north, has no upgrades. Hey, I can move the camera again. Wicked. Or pan the camera again, I guess. Goes after the Bright Lance, which is the biggest threat. There's 2 webways here, which are proving frustrating for the Tyranids, as you may expect. Double cap, I think they've done enough. Really well played in terms of map presence in this tier 3 here. The Warp Spider is making a big difference with that. Getting their natural back 2. The Lictor Alpha skulks away with 42 hit points. So 1-1, but I think they're going to get a 2-1 hit. Keeping all infiltrated, and gets away does the Lictor. 87-7. Jorge now has Crushing Claws of his own. Without number dropped in. But they've run out of VPs. There it is with a 2-1 at the end. 87 left. An excellent last like 5 to 7 minutes from the Eldar. Fought really hard. Used their mobility well. Used their heroes well. Used those Warp Spiders really well too. Look at these heroes. We had a level 5 Warp Spider Exarch. I only saw the group teleport once. I'm sure it was used to fantastic effect many times. We had a level 6 Warlock with the Immolator. Level 5 Hive Tyrant with Crushing Claws, Improved Synapse, and Bioplasma did have the Venom Cannon as well. And this Hive Tyrant sadly perished. Level 4 Twitching also had the Crushing Claws. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.